sits beside the window on the 7th floor at 5 and watches how the city changes as the sun arrives. At its most spectacular and quiet and complete, the orange and the purple in their particular heat. He started in the 50s when his wife was still beside, and watched for 40 years with and without, and with the tide of grief and then of quiet and then something like his own. He never missed a sunset even when he was alone. He never missed a sunset in 40 years of watching there, because a sunset doesn't skip the days when we're in despair. The sunset watcher on the 7th floor learned this true thing, that showing up for beauty is a daily offering. He says the best ones are in October without fail, when the atmosphere is thick enough to make the color pale into something between lavender and a very ancient gold, the kind of color that you can't quite ever be told. He teaches the young couple in the flat below his now to sit at 5 on Tuesdays, and he's shown them when and how, because beauty needs its witnesses and witnesses need grace, and the 7th floor has room enough for everyone's face. He never missed a sunset in 40 years of watching there, because a sunset doesn't skip the days when we're in despair. The sunset watcher on the 7th floor learned this true thing, that showing up for beauty is a daily offering. Sit beside the window at the hour the sky turns gold. The sunset watcher knew the beautiful grows bolder as you're old. He's on the 3rd floor of a building that forgot its name, with oil and springs and platings and the typewriter's claim. People bring him Royals and Remingtons, and Olivet is worn. He fixes what the modern world considers too forlorn. A novelist came in with her 1949 machine. The carriage wouldn't return, and the ribbon had gone green. He cleaned it over 3 days and returned it good as new. She said, "This is the only thing that lets me say what's true." He fixed the machines that fix the words that fix the soul. The last typewriter repairman had a very human role. He understood that every machine is just a thought made real, and fixing one is healing something others chose to feel. He said the digital has no resistance when you write. The keys go down like air and you can take it back the night. But a typewriter demands commitment from the first stroke down. You have to mean each letter, or the page knows you're a clown. The shop may close one day, he says without too much distress, because the typewriters outlast the people and the press. And someone always finds one in a grandmother's old room and brings it to the third floor, and he saves it from the gloom. He fixed the machines that fix the words that fix the soul. The last typewriter repairman had a very human role. He understood that every machine is just a thought made real, and fixing one is healing something others chose to feel. Strike the keys with meaning, let the Platon hear the thought. The typewriter repairman knew intention can't be bought.
He's been delivering mail on Sycamore for 30 years or so. He knows the houses by the heartbeat, not by number or by row. He slows his step at certain houses when the envelope is thin, because a thin official envelope means something's going in. In '53 he carried word of 17 who fell. He learned to pause before the knocker like a very private bell. He'd stand a moment in the quiet with the letter in his hand, giving the house one final moment to not yet understand. He slowed his step at certain houses on his route when the news inside was bigger than the envelope without. The postman who knew when the news was bad was the kindest interruption that a household ever had. He never opened anything he carried that was sealed, but the weight of what he carried was a thing he could feel. He said the worst one was the smallest in the thinnest white, just a name and a department and a date, and that's the night. He retired with a ceremony and a cake and a small speech, but the neighborhood still watches when the new man comes in reach, because nobody else slows down that way at the steps of the door. And some deliveries deserve more than just knocking anymore. He slowed his step at certain houses on his route when the news inside was bigger than the envelope without. The postman who knew when the news was bad was the kindest interruption that a household ever had. Leave the letterbox unlocked and let the mail arrive. Some messages need human hands to keep us all alive. He drew the ordinary things with a very careful line. Not heroes in the capes and not the villains in the shine. Just a man getting off the bus when it isn't his stop quite, because the street looked interesting in the afternoon light. A woman reading something with the corner of a smile that suggests whatever she has read has made the journey worthwhile. He drew it in 4 panels in his very particular way, and people said it's exactly like my Tuesday or my May. A man getting off the bus in the rain was panel 3 of a very ordinary strip about being completely free. The cartoonist who drew only ordinary moments knew that beauty lives in the plain view if you're looking at the truth. His editor once said he needed more excitement and plot. He drew the editor trying to explain what beauty was not. 4 panels of a man in an office with a suit, trying to define the extraordinary from its root. He ran for 40 years in 37 papers across the states, the daily strip of ordinariness that daily resonates, because everyone reads it at the breakfast or the desk, sees their own Tuesday morning in the very best. A man getting off the bus in the rain was panel 3 of a very ordinary strip about being completely free. The cartoonist who drew only ordinary moments knew that beauty lives in the plain view if you're looking at the truth. Notice one ordinary moment and hold it in your eye. The cartoonist knew the beautiful is what the days supply.
She writes in the Lighthouse diary at the end of every watch, each ship that passed and the direction and the time and notch, the ones that answered her signal and the ones that didn't wave. She writes them all the same because they all deserve the save. She's been the lighthouse keeper since her husband's accident, and took the job because the light needed her assent. She learned the language of the ships, the flags and the horn, and taught herself the weather, reading before each morning born. She wrote down every ship that passed without stopping or a sign, the cargo and the country and the longitude and line. The Lighthouse diary was a record of a world in motion past, a woman at the fixed point, watching everything contrast. One night a ship in trouble sent the code she'd learned to know, and she signaled back the harbor and the safe passage below. She wrote it in the diary on the simplest of the page, just the date and time and outcome and the ship's approximate age. The diaries are 30 volumes on a shelf inside the light. Each year a different handwriting as age changed left from right, but each one has the same opening line on January 1. Another year of watching, and the watching is not done. She wrote down every ship that passed without stopping or a sign, the cargo and the country and the longitude and line. The Lighthouse diary was a record of a world in motion past, a woman at the fixed point, watching everything contrast. Write down what passes by you with the careful, honest hand. The lighthouse keeper knew the record is how we understand.
They say the fire started in the kitchen after close, when the saxophone player was packing up his clothes. The flames found the piano first, the way that fire does. Then everything that made the Roseland what it was, the records on the shelf above the bar, when one by one, each title a small biography of someone's favorite run. Coltrane and Bill Evans and a lady singing blues. The fire took them all like it was taking something true. The music played one extra night inside the fire, they say. The records cracked and sang themselves before they burned away. The jazz club that burned down in '58 still plays in the memory of everyone who sat inside its haze. A trumpet player on the street outside said he could hear a song he'd never played before, but somehow held most dear. The fire department said it was the wooden beams at night, But the musicians knew a different story in the light. They built a parking lot upon the lot where it once stood, as if the only answer for a room is something good. But on the 1st of every January, someone leaves a flower pressed against the asphalt in the cold and quiet hour. The music played one extra night inside the fire, they say. The records cracked and sang themselves before they burned away. The jazz club that burned down in '58 still plays in the memory of everyone who sat inside its haze. Leave the flower on the asphalt, let the memory burn right. Some jazz clubs live forever in the ash and in the light. He's been crossing since the year his father showed him how. The same stretch of brown water and the same familiar prow. Summer flood and winter freeze and everything between. The ferryboat captain has kept the crossing clean. Doesn't own a calendar, he works by light and need. When someone's on the other bank, he gets there at his speed. He brought a woman in her labor over in the night and delivered both sides safely by the lantern light. He said the river doesn't close on Sundays or in rain. The captain doesn't get to choose the crossing or the pain. He crosses because crossing is the only thing he knows, and the river keeps its schedule, and the captain always goes. They offered him a pension and a medal and a rest. He looked across the river with his hand upon his chest and said, the thing that keeps me is the opposite bank there, because as long as someone needs to cross, I need to care. He crossed at 81 with slightly slower hand, but everyone who knew the river also understood that some men are the crossing and the vessel and the shore, and retiring from the river is a thing you can't insure. He said the river doesn't close on
Sundays or in rain. The captain doesn't get to choose the crossing or the pain. He crosses because crossing is the only thing he knows, and the river keeps its schedule. And the captain always goes. Take the ferry across at dusk and watch the captain's hand. Some men are born to carry others to the other land.
He's been crossing since the year his father showed him how. The same stretch of brown water and the same familiar prow. Summer flood and winter freeze and everything between. The ferryboat captain has kept the crossing clean. He doesn't own a calendar, he works by light and need. When someone's on the other bank, he gets there at his speed. He brought a woman in her labor over in the night and delivered both sides safely by the lantern light. He said the river doesn't close on Sundays or in rain. The captain doesn't get to choose the crossing or the pain. He crosses because crossing is the only thing he knows, and the river keeps its schedule, and the captain always goes. They offered him a pension and a medal and a rest. He looked across the river with his hand upon his chest and said, the thing that keeps me is the opposite bank there, because as long as someone needs to cross, I need to care. He crossed at 81 with slightly slower hand, but everyone who knew the river also understood that some men are the crossing and the vessel and the shore, and retiring from the river is a thing you can't ensure. He said the river doesn't close on Sundays or in rain. The captain doesn't get to choose the crossing or the pain. He crosses because crossing is the only thing he knows, and the river keeps its schedule, and the captain always goes. Take the ferry across at dusk and watch the captain's hand. Some men are born to carry others to the other land. mixes paints the color of ambition and old gold, and climbs the ladder with a brush and everything he's told. A new store needs a sign, and he's the man the town employs to give the new beginning its particular noise. He painted Kowalski's meats in burgundy and cream, and Miller's hardware in a blue that matches someone's dream. Each letter has a serif that he carves into the wood, because a sign says who you are, and who you are is good. He gave the town its voice in gold and red and pine, one letter at a time along the 40-year skyline. The painter of store signs on Main Street left his mark in every shopfront name that shines against the dark. He said the hardest letter in the English is the S, because it has to feel both proud and also dispossessed. A letter that goes two directions simultaneously, like any good ambition in a town of history. When he retired, the town held a ceremony in the square and pointed to the 20 years of signage everywhere. He looked around and said, I didn't build the town, you know. I just told the town what name it wanted the world to know. He gave the town its voice in gold and red and pine, one letter at a time along the 40-year skyline. The painter of store signs on Main Street left his mark in every shopfront name that shines against the dark. Paint the letters carefully, give every name its weight. A sign above a door is how the world meets what's great. He sits beside the window on the 7th floor at 5 and watches how the city changes as the sun arrives at its most spectacular and quiet and complete. The orange and the purple in their particular heat. He started in the 50s when his wife was still beside, and watched for 40 years with and without and with the tide of grief and then of quiet and then something like his own. He never missed a sunset even when he was alone. He never missed a sunset in 40 years of watching there, because a sunset doesn't skip the days when we're in despair. The sunset watcher on the 7th floor learned this true thing, that showing up for beauty is a daily offering. He says the best ones are in October without fail, when the atmosphere is thick enough to make the color pale. into something between lavender and a very ancient gold, the kind of color that you can't quite ever be told. He teaches the young couple in the flat below his now to sit at 5 on Tuesdays, and he's shown them when and how, because beauty needs its witnesses, and witnesses need grace, and the 7th floor is room enough for everyone's face. He never missed a sunset in 40 years of watching there, because a sunset doesn't skip the days when we're in despair. The sunset watcher on the 7th floor learned this true thing, that showing up for beauty is a daily offering. Sit beside the window at the hour the sky turns gold. The sunset watcher knew the beautiful grows bolder as you're old.
She comes to the end of the pier when the summer crowds are done, when the families have folded up their days beneath the sun. She puts a small transistor radio against the rail and dances to the music in the salt and in the pail. She learned a waltz from someone who no longer waltzes now. She dances for the memory and doesn't ask the how. The ocean doesn't judge her, and the gulls don't keep the score. She's dancing at the end of something she's been dancing for. The ocean was her only audience, she'd say, and oceans understand the things that you can't find the way. She danced alone at the end of the pier in the evening gold, dancing for the version of herself she hadn't been told. A fisherman once watched her, and he didn't say a thing. He packed his tackle quietly and listened to her sing, because some moments in this world belong to just one soul, and witnessing them silently is how you make them whole. The pier is older now, and so is she, but she still comes on evenings when the summer crowd gives way to quieter drums. She carries her transistor and she faces out to sea and dances every step of everything she's chosen to be. The ocean was her only audience, she'd say, and oceans understand the things that you can't find the way. She danced alone at the end of the pier in the evening gold, dancing for the version of herself she hadn't been told. Let the pier hold one more waltz before the season ends. The ocean knows the dancer, and it never condescends. Her father fixed the radios on the kitchen table each night. Tubes and coils and capacitors arranged beneath the light. She'd sit and watch him probe the insides of the BBC and learn to love the hiss that lived between the notes so free. She said the static was her favorite part of any song, the place between the signal where you couldn't stay too long, a kind of music that existed only in the seam between the thing you're looking for and everything you dream. She grew up inside the static between stations, she said, in the place where all the music went when it wasn't being read. The radio repairman's daughter understood the hiss that everything you're waiting for lives somewhere close to this. She became a radio host herself in '59. She'd leave a second of the static in the opening line. The engineers would flag it, but she'd say, no, leave it there, because the people who are listening deserve to know it's real air. She played jazz on her program every Friday after 9 and dedicated every song to someone in the line between the wanting and the having and the hoping and the wait, because the static is the music of the ones arriving late. She grew up inside the static between stations, she said, in the place where all the music went when it wasn't being read. The radio repairman's daughter understood the hiss that everything you're waiting for lives somewhere close to this. Turn the dial past the stations, let the static in. Sometimes the space between the songs is where you must begin.
He works on shoes the way a sculptor works on stone, with a knowledge that the finished thing will finally stand alone. He takes the worn and rizzled heel and gives it back its ground, with leather cut with patience and with stitching that is sound.
pair of Oxford brogues came in that were 60 years of age. He looked at them and said, "These have been through every stage." He spent a week restoring what another man had made, and sent them out like new again, without a lick of trade. He said a good soul should outlive its owner if done right. The cobbler made his shoes to last well past the owner's night. He built them with a permanence that few things in life bear, because the ground beneath your feet deserves exceptional care. He told me that a shoe reveals more than people think. The wear pattern tells him where your posture has a kink. The left one always different from the right in subtle ways. He reads the story of your body in the soul's long days. He's teaching now at 70 to anyone who'll stay, because cobblers are becoming scarce and souls are thrown away. He says, "I don't need many students, only 2 or 3, to carry on the language of good shoes for what will be." He said a good soul should outlive its owner if done right. The cobbler made his shoes to last well past the owner's night. He built them with a permanence that few things in life bear, because the ground beneath your feet deserves exceptional care. Bring your shoes to someone who believes they're worth a mend. A cobbler and a good soul have no reason to end.
She came to the classroom at 7 before anyone arrived, and wrote a name on every desk for every child that thrived. She'd studied each one carefully in the first September week, and knew what was inside them that the curriculum would miss. A boy who couldn't read the board but drew like no one's business. A girl who was invisible but kept the whole class's fitness. She made the boy the artist of the quarterly display, and the girl the quiet leader of the Tuesday word of day. She spent her life finding what nobody else could see, the gift inside, the difficult, the talent in the free. The school teacher who knew every student's private star, left every child in 40 years exactly where they are. She said the hardest ones to reach are never really far. They're just waiting for the teacher who believes in who they are. The student who destroys the class is asking to be found by someone patient enough to hear the music in the sound. She taught for 42 years and retired without a fuss, but the name she called on in the morning still remember us. A generation of people in the city and the world who carry something seen in them that was carefully unfurled. She spent her life finding what nobody else could see, the the talent in the free. The school teacher who knew every student's private star left every child in 40 years exactly where they are. Find one thing in a person that they haven't found themselves. The school teacher knew the gift is always on the highest shelf. Highest shelf.
He comes in at 6 when the building's still sleeping in the dark, and he knows every corner and the water stain and mark. He's been the janitor for 30 years of this one place, and knows its architecture better than the architect's face. He found a secret staircase in the year of 62 behind the boiler room and all the pipes of something new. He keeps it to himself, except for children on the tours, because some buildings have a private life behind their floors. He knew every corner better than the architects did, he said, because architects imagine and a janitor works every day. The janitor who loved the building, he cleaned, understood the art, that knowing something intimately means taking it to heart. He fixed a dripping pipe one night at 3 without a word that would have taken weeks for maintenance to be heard. He said the building talks to me, and when it makes that sound, it means it needs attention, and I'm already around. When they renovated in the 70s, he walked each floor and showed the contractors where every hidden thing was stored. They offered him a hard hat and a seat inside the plant, because nobody knew the building like the janitor man. He knew every corner better than the architects did, he said, because architects imagine and a janitor works every day. The janitor who loved the building, he cleaned, understood the art, that knowing something intimately means taking it to heart. Love the place you tend with all the care a building's earned. The janitor who loved his building left the place well learned. took the grill at 2 for the people who kept us safe. The nurses and the drivers and the ones who manned the grace. He cracks the eggs without a word and knows the order's cold, because the 3 a.m. regulars are loyal and bold. A woman comes in every night before her shift ends right. She orders the same scrambled eggs she's ordered every night. He makes them soft the way she likes and adds a little toast. And she says you're the only one who does it right almost. 3 in the morning, tastes like someone cares. The cook behind the counter, who's always just there. He feeds the night shift people who keep the world alive, with eggs and coffee and the will to help them all survive. He told me that the night shift crowd are different from the day. They're quieter and more honest in a very tired way. They don't perform their hunger, they just sit and eat and breathe. And a man who cooks for that deserves a certain kind of creed. By 5 the place fills up a little more with new tired ones, fresh nurses and the morning bakers and the early runs. He wipes the counter down and says another night done right, and turns the grill up high to face the morning light. 3 in the morning, tastes like someone cares. The cook behind the counter, who's always just there. He feeds the night shift people who keep the world alive, with eggs and coffee and the will to help them all survive. Close the grill at 6 and let the morning cook take in. 3 in the morning was the best part of the spin. He comes to tune the pianos after everyone has left, when the club has closed its curtains and the night begins its theft. He unplugs all the lamps because he says the light deceives. The ear hears differently in dark, the way the body breathes. He strikes each key in silence with his felt and tuning fork, and listens to the resonance the way that masters work. The piano tells him where it's been tonight within its strings, the weight of certain chords and all the things the evening brings. He said the light changes what the ear hears and the heart knows. The darkness is the truest tuning room, the silence shows. The man who tuned pianos in the dark was never wrong, because the night revealed
the true pitch of every song. He was asked once in the daylight to explain his method strange. He sat beside the upright and he put the lamps in range, then turned them off and struck a note and said, "You hear the difference?" The room became a cathedral with a very new significance. He tuned for 40 years and left the pianos better than he found, because he understood that darkness is a very honest sound. No crowd, no light, no color, just the note inside the wire, and the man inside the darkness tending to the choir. He said the light changes what the ear hears and the heart knows, that darkness is the truest tuning room the silence shows. The man who tuned pianos in the dark was never wrong, because the night revealed the true pitch of every song. Turn the lamps off once and listen to the note inside. The man who tuned in darkness left the truth behind.
She keeps a greenhouse on the northern edge of the estate, where she works in the early morning before it gets too late. Each plant she's cultivated has a name beside the pot, not the Latin name, but a person's name for all she's not. The tall one by the window is Margaret, who taught her how to read. The vine that spreads across the east wall is from an older seed. She named it for her sister, who went everything too young. And every morning when she waters it, she hums what was sung. A garden full of everyone she missed is what she grew. A greenhouse where the names of the beloved still come through. The botanist who named plants after people she had lost was building back the gone ones at whatever the green cost. She said that naming is a kind of keeping in the world, that something persists when a beloved name unfurls in the shape of something living in the light and in the water. A mother in the marigolds and a father in the border. The greenhouse has a visitor's day she holds in early May, when the neighborhood can come and see the garden on display. She tells each story carefully beside each name in bloom, and the greenhouse in the morning has no room for gloom. A garden full of everyone she missed is what she grew. A greenhouse where the names of the beloved still come through. The botanist who named plants after people she had lost was building back the gone ones at whatever the green cost. Plant something living for the ones you cannot hold today. A garden is the grammar of what love has left to say. She writes in the Lighthouse diary at the end of every watch, each ship that passed and the direction and the time and notch. The ones that answered her signal and the ones that didn't wave. She writes them all the same because they all deserve the save. She's been the lighthouse keeper since her husband's accident, and took the job because the light needed her ascent. She learned the language of the ships, the flags and the horn, and taught herself the weather reading before each morning born. She wrote down every ship that passed without stopping or a sign, the cargo and the country and the longitude and line. The Lighthouse diary was a record of a world in motion past, a woman at the fixed point, watching everything contrast. One night a ship in trouble sent the code she'd learned to know, and she signaled back the harbor and the safe passage below. She wrote it in the diary on the simplest of the page, just the date and time and outcome and the ship's approximate age. The diaries are 30 volumes on a shelf inside the light. Each year a different handwriting is age changed left from right, but each one has the same opening line on January 1. Another year of watching, and the watching is not done. She wrote down every ship that passed without stopping or a sign, the cargo and the country and the longitude and line. The Lighthouse diary was a record of a world in in motion past, a woman at the fixed point, watching everything contrast. Write down what passes by you with a careful, honest hand. The lighthouse keeper knew the record is how we understand. She lines the windowsills with jars of different shapes and years, each one a particular rain from a particular sphere. April 1951, when everything felt new. September 54, when the horizon changed its blue. She doesn't share them readily, she shows them only when someone sits beside her who has lived inside the rain. She says this one is for the kind of grief that comes in waves, and this one is the rain that fell the day she misbehaves. She had a jar for every season's particular sorrow, and one for the unexplained feeling about tomorrow. The woman who collected rain was simply keeping track of all the skies above her and the skies that won't come back. A visitor once asked her if the rain all tastes the same. She opened one from 58 and said, not in the name of any ordinary thing I've tasted or I've held. Each rain has its own character, its own particular spell. When she passed away, they found the jar still lined and labeled true. Nobody knew exactly what the right thing was to do, so they put them in the garden and let the seasons have their say, and let the collected rain of 30 years return that way. She had a jar for every season's particular sorrow, and one for the unexplained feeling about tomorrow. The woman who collected rain was simply keeping track of all the skies above her and the skies that won't come back. Put a jar out on the sill and let the rain come in. The collector of rain knew sorrow is where beauty begins.
He comes to tune the pianos after everyone has left, when the club has closed its curtains and the night begins its theft. He unplugs all the lamps because he says the light deceives. The ear hears differently in dark, the way the body breathes. He strikes each key in silence with his felt and tuning fork, and listens to the resonance the way that masters work. The piano tells him where it's been tonight within its strings, the weight of certain chords and all the things the evening brings. He said the light changes what the ear hears and the heart knows. The darkness is the truest tuning room, the silence shows. The man who tuned pianos in the dark was never wrong, because the night revealed the true pitch of every song. He was asked once in the daylight to explain his method strange. He sat beside the upright and he put the lamps in range, then turned them off and struck a note and said, "You hear the difference?" The room became a cathedral with a very new significance. He tuned for 40 years and left the pianos better than he found, because he understood that darkness is a very honest sound. No crowd, no light, no color, just the note inside the wire, and the man inside the darkness tending to the choir. He said the light changes what the ear hears and the heart knows. That darkness is the truest tuning room, the silence shows. The man who tuned pianos in the dark was never wrong, because the night revealed the true pitch of every song. Turn the lamps off once and listen to the note inside. The man who tuned in darkness left the truth behind. He comes around the measuring tape the way a doctor comes, with concentration in his eyes and something that he hums. He measures not just length and girth, but something harder still, the posture of ambition and the slope of the strong will. He made a suit for a young man who said he was
was a clerk, and gave him 3 inches extra in the shoulder for the work. He said, I'm fitting who you'll be in 4 years from today. And sure enough, in 4 years, the young man found his way. He measured you by what you were becoming, not what you were, and stitched the suit accordingly with thread precise and sure. The tailor of the old quarter understood the body's plan. That cloth cuts best when cut for the future of a man. He said the measurements of yesterday make yesterday's suit. You'll wear it to the place you were and miss the alternate route. But if I measure who you're going to be in the fabric seam, you'll wear the suit into the future of your particular dream. He stitched for 60 years, and every suit was one he kept in a ledger with the measurements and what each customer had stepped into afterward in life, as if the suit had made it real. Because sometimes what you're fitted for becomes what you can feel. He measured you by what you were becoming, not what you were, and stitched the suit accordingly with thread precise and sure. The tailor of the old quarter understood the body's plan. That cloth cuts best when cut for the future of a man. Let the tailor take your measure with a patient knowing eye. He sees in you the person that the cloth should satisfy. He went into a burning building 6 times in 1 year, and each time someone told him there were books that need the clear. He says you save the people first without a moment's pause, but if the building's empty, then the pages have their cause. A library caught on a Thursday in the early fall. He got the night custodian out, and then he heard the hall, the sound of paper catching in a very specific way. And he went back in for the rarest shelf that day. He said, you save the people first, and then the pages when you can, because a book that burns forever takes its knowledge from the plan. The firemen who rescued books believed what no one says, that some things lost in fire can't be replaced in other ways. He carried out a first folio once from a private blaze, a copy of the Shakespeare that had lived through better days. The owner wept not for her house, but for the book he brought, and gave it to the library, which was everything it ought. He retired with the library of his own beside the door, of everything he'd rescued from the smoke and from the floor, not for keeping, but for lending to whoever passed, because the books he saved from fire were always meant to last. He said, you save the people first and then the pages when you can, because a book that burns forever takes its knowledge from the plan. The firemen who rescued books believed what no one says, that some things lost in fire can't be replaced in other ways. Save the people first and then the pages if you can. Some heroes carry people out and books into the plan. He comes around the measuring tape the way a doctor comes, with concentration in his eyes and something that he hums. He measures not just length and girth, but something harder still, the posture of ambition and the slope of the strong will. He made a suit for a young man who said he was a clerk, and gave him 3 inches extra in the shoulder for the work. He said, I'm fitting who you'll be in 4 years from today. And sure enough, in 4 years the young man found his way. He measured you by what you were, becoming not what you were, and stitched the suit accordingly with thread precise and sure. The tailor of the old quarter understood the body's plan, that cloth cuts best when cut for the future of a man. He said the measurements of yesterday make yesterday's suit. You'll wear it to the place you were and miss the alternate route. But if I measure who you're going to be in the fabric seam, you'll wear the suit into the future of your particular dream. He stitched for 60 years, and every suit was one he kept in a ledger with the measurements and what each customer had stepped into afterward in life, as if the suit had made it real. Because sometimes what you're fitted for becomes what you can feel. He measured you by what you were, becoming not what you were, and stitched the suit accordingly with thread precise and sure. The tailor of the old quarter understood the body's plan, that cloth cuts best when cut for the future of a man. Let the tailor take your measure with a patient knowing eye. He sees in you
person that the cloth should satisfy.
He holds each bottle level with a light beside his eye, and listens to the history of the vineyard and the sky. He says each bottle is a year compressed into a glass, a record of the weather and the soil as seasons pass. A 53 Burgundy, he says, still holds the late frost, and a 57 Barolo knows exactly what was lost. He recommends not by the label, but by what he feels, that each vintage is a biography and each sip reveals. He said the grapes remember the year they grew in every drop, and a good wine carries all its history to the top. The wine merchant who listened to each bottle heard the vine tell him everything the season had been asked to sign. A customer once came with a wine she'd found in a wall, bricked up inside a cellar with no label at all. He tasted it in silence for a very long 2 beats, and said, "This is from somewhere beautiful that no one meets." He passed his shop to someone who had learned to also hear the conversation inside the bottle through the year. And they kept his system up with one addition made. They wrote down what the bottle said before its price was laid. He said the grapes remember the year they grew in every drop, and a good wine carries all its history to the top. The wine merchant who listened to each bottle heard the vine tell him everything the season had been asked to sign. Open the bottle slowly, let the year inside breathe out. The wine merchant knew listening is what it's all about. He came in through the side door of the chapel after Mass, when the congregation left their handprints on the glass. He'd set up in the transept and adjust the microphone, and played to 40 empty pews completely on his own. He said the people in the seats distract the music's ear, that music needs a room with no agenda to appear. The empty church is honest, it will tell you if you're true, because no one's going to applaud a note that doesn't come through. He said the acoustics required an honest audience to play, and the only honest audience is a room that has nothing to say. The musician who played only in empty churches learned this thing, that the most important listener you have is the room's offering. A priest once heard him through the vestry wall and stood for 40 minutes listening the way a good man would. He never introduced himself, but left a note that read, "Your music filled the empty church with something holy said." He passed away in '64 inside one late at night. They found him at the organ with the last note in the light. The priest who wrote the note said at the service in the nave that the church was finally full of what the musician gave. He said the acoustics required an honest audience to play, and the only honest audience is a room that has nothing to say. The musician who played only in empty churches learned this thing, that the most important listener you have is the room's offering. Play the note in silence, let the empty room decide. The most important audience is the one you hold inside. He sits beside the window on the 7th floor at 5 and watches how the city changes as the sun arrives. At its most spectacular and quiet and complete, the orange and the purple in their particular heat. He started in the 50s when his wife was still beside, and watched for 40 years with